Hello, lovelies. Welcome to the weekly card pull party for the week of February 18th to the 24th. And I'm going to just see if a few people pop on here. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I know it's President's Day here. I got a little kiddo home from school, so I'm hoping he doesn't knock on the door. And if you just joined, say hi. Hello. So glad you're here. And can't wait to get started. Hello, everybody. Hello. So tell me how your week is going so far. Did you have a good weekend? And hi, Jessica. Hi, Kim. Today I want to do something kind of neat. I think hopefully you'll like it. I'm going to pull 4 cards like I did last week. 3 for, one for Monday, Tuesday, 1 for Wednesday, Thursday, and then 1 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then another one to kind of give the overall energy behind the week. But if you stay for the end, if you want me to pull one for you specifically, just put a comment in the comment section and I will pull one just for you. So hopefully we won't take an hour like the last time. I guess I had a lot to say, so don't mind me. I also have my coffee. Enjoy your tea, coffee, drinks, whatever you guys have. Let's enjoy this. It's going to be fun. And for those of you who have never been on here before, I use the Herbal Tarot from an herbalist named Michael Tierra and Candice Candon. She's the one who, or Canton, I'm sorry. She's the one who did all the lovely pictures of these cards. And I use the herbal deck because I really believe in, you're enjoying your coffee too, Jessica? Yeah, awesome. I love coffee. It's one of my vices. But I like the herbal deck because I believe that herbs have very healing powers, and it's just one of those things that was like a very natural interest of mine from, like, I can't remember, ever since I was little. I love to go walking in the woods and picking flowers and wanted to know what tree was what or what plant was what. And a very lovely friend of mine gifted me this, you can see it's all ready and I taped it together, gifted me this Herbal Tarot deck when I was 17. So we're in good hands. Spirit always talks to me. I'm going to call on Archangel Ariel. She's the keeper of the fairies and the earth sprites and the earth angels. And I'm really feeling called to the energy of Mother Earth lately. It's very grounding energy, obviously, and light energy. Just, really draw on the energy that's already here for us to support us, to love us, and as you can see, I'm splitting the deck right now. Hi, Hope. Hi, Charlotte. Hello to everyone who hasn't commented yet. I'm very excited to do this. It's fun for me. All right, so and by the way, this weekend I decided, I don't know what came over me, but I decided I wanted to smudge like all of my cards and all of, my yoni eggs and, just anything like candles that I bought at like healing fairs that I think it's something like whenever you buy something and you bringing it into your house, this is important. It's important to pay attention to what energy you allow into your world. And it's good to smudge things and purify it because you're putting intentions into it. That's all you. That's just all your energy. And if there's anything negative that was there that wasn't from you, like just other people's attached hucha, like that dark energy or whatever, you just naturally get rid of it when you're smudging. And it's, to me, it's like energetic boundaries. It's really, you get to decide what you bring into your world, right? So anything that's going to be what I, obviously a divination tool here, like, asking spirit for messages, I want to make sure that it's coming straight from the light, right? So we always want to set sacred space. And in the shamanism modality, they do the sacred space of the medicine wheel, which is, asking for the 4 directions. And so usually we set the space ahead of time. So whenever we have people in the group, we all enter into the space knowing that it's sacred space, okay? So I'm going to just ask you guys to just join me while I set sacred space, and I'm going to invite in the winds of the east. And we always start with the east because that's where all beginnings come from, and it's the void where we'll all return. And we'll thank the winds of the east for bringing in that which is unknown, the spirit of eagle, condor. The eagle is all-seeing. It knows things that we don't know. And so we thank you, spirit of eagle and condor, for being here with us. It's also the springtime of our life, okay? So now we're going to also thank the winds of the south, and I'm pointing in that direction. Normally, if I wasn't on camera, I'd be actually facing that direction. The winds of the south. We thank you for the summertime of our life, and for Brother Snake, for your very humble beginnings, and for showing us how to shed our skin. And if you know, also, please, if you are familiar with this process, if you have other attributes, other spirit animals, anything that you'd like to invite in, please do so. This is our space. As long as it's from the light, we're good. Okay, so now I would also thank you, Brother Snake and winds of the south. And to the spirits of the west, the winds of the west, this is where the sun sets. This is where we go for the fall of our lifetime, where we come into maybe a rite of passage, where we go within. And I particularly draw upon the spirit of the jaguar here, because jaguars, if you're not familiar, they're part of the Peruvian jungle. They're very tenacious animals. They'll go a whole week without eating, and they'll just keep hunting until they get what they need. And that's the spirit of jaguar. The spirit of the jaguar helps you through the rites of passage, through the dark night of the soul, the belief that you can keep going to survive, to live, to flourish. Okay, so thank you, winds of the west and Brother Jaguar. To the winds of the north, I welcome in all the spirits of our ancestors. This is the the winter of our lifetime, where we go within, where we know all the lessons that we've learned. And this is where spirit of hummingbird is, where you become lightness of being, and also spirit of the elk and caribou, all the animals of the north that know how to hibernate and survive through the winter. Thank you for coming on, Jocelyn. Glad you're here. We're setting sacred space right now for our little card reading. And also, thank you once again for the spirit of our ancestors and the winds of the north, and spirit of hummingbird and elk and caribou and all other helpful creatures. We're also going to thank all the creatures, the winged, the furred, the two-legged, the four-legged, the feathered, we're also going to thank Mother Earth. Thank you so much for providing us life and giving us life, and for holding us in the womb of your abundance. Without you, we would have nowhere to live. Thank you so much. And of course, to Father Sky for all the possibilities, all of our abilities to think and create, co-creatively make thoughts that are of light. And to Star Nations, and also to any Ascended Masters and Archangels. I specifically called on Archangel Ariel, but if you have a particular guardian angel, your spirit guides, any one of your people who have passed, and it may not be someone you were particularly close to, but you can feel them nearby, they're there for you. And also benevolent light beings, thank you for being here in this space. Okay. And if anybody else has anything they'd like to add on, please feel free to do so. All right, so the very first card that I'm going to pull is going to be, first a sip of coffee here. I know who else was enjoying, oh, Jessica, you're enjoying your coffee. If you're having coffee, please do so here. All right. So I split the deck with my left hand, which is receiving messages from Spirit. And now I'm going to shuffle with the right, which is, I'm going to decide which one Spirit wants me to see. And all right, this one popped out. Very Doreen Virtue-like, right? I miss her card readings. Oh, there's another one popped out. This one's going to be for Wednesday, Thursday. And then one more for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I like to pick one that talks about the overall energy of the week. All right. So our very first card, okay, the High Priest. Okay, so what's really good is it's a major arcana or arcana, potato, however you want to say it. A major arcana card really has to do with like broad sweeping energy for your entire life, not just, maybe something in an immediate situation. So a lot of us over the last, I guess I've been getting like messages from everybody and I've been feeling it. Like for me, the planetary movements really affect me. This lunar eclipse all the way to the solar eclipse, that period of time, it was just like ridiculously intense. So if you felt something huge, feel free to comment. You went through something major, like just a very like maybe heavy or just strange, like things just felt off. That's kind of normal, but most of the time when they're related to these like ascension related type things where there's these huge shifts, these huge portals are opening. Anytime you have an eclipse, it interrupts the magnetic field of the earth, and you let in wisdom from deep space, right? So we're getting in all of this crazy energy that like maybe our little human being brains in our 3D world haven't quite been able to catch up to. And so when you're feeling really tired or feeling really low, really like I would make around feeling really depressed, but really that's a sign that you're recalibrating your system. You're really bringing your body's catching up to your spirit and the energy that's out there. And we're going through some really crazy energy where we're expected to take action and step into this new way of being, not just talk about it, be about it, right? And literally be about it, the energy behind it. Okay, so the High Priest, and I think this is perfect. The herb that's associated with the High Priest is sage. Now, that's the thing that I smudged with, so I'm not surprised at all. I'm going to look up the High Priest here and see what else is related to this. And like I said, this has to do with more sweeping, big energy that it has to do with your whole life, changes that you're going through, rites of passage almost. Okay, so the High Priest represents our own inner teacher, and this is perfect. I want to say something too. Like I'm getting this message to just really hammer this for some reason. If you're feeling like you constantly have to seek out teachers or other people, this isn't the time for that. Like you need to seek out people who are going to bring out your own innate gifts. Okay, like you already are a master healer. Somebody told me that, and I had to understand this. When you don't own that about yourself, that you already know what you need to know, you just need somebody to help bring it out and into fruition. Like a seed, you don't tell a seed how to grow. A seed knows, right? But you help tend to it. So you want to help people tend to your inner knowledge, okay? So the High Priest represents our own inner teacher. After we have come to the end of our reasoning process, we must jump into the realm of inner guidance. So this is perfect, right? It's all about inner guidance. Yesterday, today, setting the tone for the week. The high priest is there waiting for us, for he knows that we need both physically and spiritually, and stands as the bridge between the two pillars, representing practical and spiritual knowledge. This is absolutely perfect. Okay, everything about this new paradigm is not that masculine is bad. It's not at all. In fact, a lot of us are very much in masculine energy. We appreciate it. We value it. The doing, the being, the achieving, the going out and getting, all of that is, we're a bunch of culture wrapped up in that masculine energy. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we have to balance it with the feminine. And the feminine is allowing, it's receiving. A lot of us are having money blocks. We don't understand this as a feminine quality, to just allow the money to come to us. There's practical stuff that he's talking about, the high priest, like, you know, when you want to start your business, right? You can get very idealistic about it, and you know, you want to go into a spiritually based business. It's very idealistic to say, yeah, well, I personally believe, you know, Spirit has carried me through many tough times, and Archangel Ariel is known for providing for all your material needs when you're assuming your divine mission. You can always call upon these entities to help you, and to believe that they're going to carry you through. They're going to give you whatever material needs you have. But there are some practical things, like, you know, everybody needs to buy groceries. Everybody needs to, you know, unfortunately pay for water and electricity. And, you know, so you have to look at the balance between what's practical and what isn't, and how you can. Hello, ladies. I'm just catching your comments here. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it, Charlotte. Hello, Holly. To feel the balance between, you know, when you're really like caught up in the spiritual realm of things, it's like, what a drag to have to go to the grocery store and buy stuff, or what a drag to not have money to pay the phone bill or something like that. But just trust that there is a balance. There's a balance between the both, and that you can definitely call upon Spirit to help you with your material needs and the things that are practical. And that's sad too. If you are working on your business, and I know a lot of you guys here are, don't feel bad about needing to do some practical things to bring in some money in the meantime. I kind of mini-maked around that when I quit my job, and just know that, like, you want to stay in the flow of things, okay? So stay in the flow of what's practical and what is needed. And then also understand that Spirit can give you everything you need. So it's a combination, okay? So the high priest is ruled by Taurus, the sign of inherited talents, also an earth sign. Thank you, Mother Earth. Values, tenacity, earthiness, and results. The high priest uses all his Taurian capabilities in order to teach and guide us in a stable and real manner. So the other thing that I'm getting here too is, if like you're getting a lot of information from like all these other teachers and you're getting this really ungrounded feeling like, I don't know what's what, you reserve the right to be quiet and go within and just understand, what do I believe? What do I inherently know? And how can I put all of this together so that I can teach it in a way that maybe someone needs to hear it from me? Okay, so that's really that real grounded, stable knowing of what you know. Okay, so that's kind of the energy I'm feeling here from the high priest. And this isn't just for today and tomorrow, or yesterday and today. This is for kind of coming up. Like, if you're on this divine mission that you know you're on, this is just setting the tone. Like, I know what I already know, and I'm going to invite people in to tend to my inner teacher. I don't need them to teach me anything else, okay? So he is that small voice we hear inside when we take the time to ask a question, silence our minds, and just listen. He is practical in application of wisdom and is willing to live his life accordingly to inner dictates. What that means, if you know, like, for example, that you aren't very good at tending to like your energy, maybe it's time to start assuming a practice of tending to that energy so that you know you can get quiet, get silent. What does that look like? Making sure every day when you wake up, I set my intentions for the day, 5-10 minutes of quiet meditation. At the end of the night, you relax. You take that time to really wind down your brain, to really get yourself in a letting go of negative energy. Asking yourself, is this mine? Was this my energy? Did I take this on? Maybe doing some cutting cord exercises. Really tend to what I call your energetic hygiene. Okay, so that was for yesterday and today, and really setting the tone for the whole week. And of course, beautiful sage herb. Sage, the medicinal properties of sage are to prevent and treat indigestion and gas. So that's funny. It's also useful as a treatment for bladder infections due to its antiseptic properties. It also helps with treatment of cold, flus, and congestions. And it can be used as a poultice for bruises and injuries. But mostly, sage is there to help relieve a sense of tension. So, and it has very protective qualities. So you can always call upon sage. The way we use herbs when we're talking to spirit in a magical sense is to really just understand the essence of the herb and to really call upon it. If you don't have the herb with you, you can always just imagine it, or, you know, believe your brain, what you think in this new age, this new 5D world, when you're just imagining sage, that has the same quality as if you actually had it right there in front of you. So literally, if you don't have it, you can just look at a picture of it. You can just understand the qualities of it, call upon the essence of it to help you get through, you know, maybe feelings of, I'm not really sure what I know, and I've been really stressed out, and I've been maybe inviting in too many other people's energy into my world. So if you're feeling like that, call upon sage, smudge out all anything that you feel is not in your sacred space, right? So, and my beautiful teacher, Olga, advised me, it's never saging, it's always smudging. Because if you sage something, it's like saying I lavendered the house or whatever. So I found that very amusing. Okay, so let's go on to the second card. We're going into Wednesday and Thursday. Ooh, another major arcana. This is crazy, right? Astragalus, okay, the magician. I don't see this too often. Okay, Astragalus and the magician. Let's look this up. That's really powerful that we have two major arcana cards. Okay, the major arcana cards, like I said, if you came on late, are the more sweeping, broad energies. And so what I'm getting is a lot of the stuff that's going on in this week is going to be about how you set the tone for the rest of your week. So the magician represents the power of creative transmutation. Hey! He stands in a state of powerful inner attunement, encircled by the golden light of heaven. Upheld in his receptive left hand is a crystal to attract and magnify the pure cosmic energies, while in his lowered giving right hand, he points a finger downward, symbolizing his ability to direct, through concentration, the divine energies into unlimited manifestation. So remember when I was talking about earlier when I was cutting the deck with my left hand and then I was picking with my right hand? If you're very intentional about where your energy goes, you're going to have a fabulous week. Let's just say that, okay? You are very intentional about how you receive something, what you choose to pick up, and what you choose to put down. You're going to have a really good week, okay? The magician's strewn, around the magician are strewn the cup, pentacle, sword, and wand, symbols of the four elements of creation and the four suits. The wand symbolizes the fire element, the enthusiasm and energy to make things happen. The cup represents the water element, feelings and the flow of ideas. The sword represents the air element, the mechanics of how the world works. And the pentacle represents the earth element and the end result of all the above. In other words, you know, you can have how everything comes together, and on the earth element, it's going to be how it literally came into 3D form, okay? These are the magician's tools, which he will master and use in order to make his visions into reality. What I'm hearing from this is, like, you have your own tool belt, your own innate knowledge, and you know how this is how you learn to direct everything you already know, and how to learn to receive only what you wish to receive and ask for specific stuff, and to direct where you want your energy to go. So, ruled by Mercury, the planet of ideas and communication, the magician awakens within us the ability to move inward for inspiration and then outward for manifestation. So you get to be the catalyst for what is created in your life. So understand, you are a magician. You are a powerful creator, and everything you're saying, like, important. This is very important. Everything you're saying, including the little affirmation that you're making every day that you don't realize you're making, that's like, oh my God, I'm always late, or I'm always this, or all these negative I am statements, they have a profound effect on your cells, on your body, and it's really important to tune to what you are allowing yourself to receive and what thoughts you're choosing to put out. Okay, that's really important. It represents the ongoing communication we have with the creative flow of life. Okay, so when you're saying, oh, I'm always blocked for money, I don't have money, whatever. No, change your story. I am a magnet for money. And literally let it seep into your cells. Let your cells on your body, when you talk to your body, we're one, okay? So our thoughts, our body, we feel it, right? So if we're feeling like overly negative, we might start manifesting physical ailments. Could be a cough, like could be those of us who are having money issues may start getting pelvic pain, might be getting, constipation, something like that. Start really thinking about the energy behind the thoughts that you're thinking and where it can affect you in your body. Okay, so astragalus is the herb of creativity. Okay, if you're all bunged up and constipated, whoever here has heard of the statement creative constipation? If you're not in a state of flow, it's going to feel really hard to create. Okay, so the only responsibility you have is to get in a state of flow. And you get in that state of flow, again, by paying attention to what you're receiving and what you're putting out and letting it just come and go. And don't hold on to it, right? Allow yourself to feel stuff. Here I go. That's a throat chakra thing. Whenever you need to clear your throat a lot, that means that you're either saying something really important or you're saying something that maybe you need to hear or that you are having a hard time getting it out, okay? Yeah, I would definitely love to do a card for you, Holly, and anyone else who would like one. And Lisa, yes, I love this deck too. I'm a nerve junkie as well, if you can't tell. Okay, astragalus root is traditionally used by the Chinese as a tonic to foster and increase energy by strengthening physical digestion and assimilation. Those of you who are familiar, the gut is like pretty much the seat of all of our health. If you strengthen your gut, all other ailments are going to improve. I will just leave it at that, okay? It is also the most powerful immune system enhancer. Since obesity is a condition in which we have lost to some extent our ability to transmute and digest food. It's, to me, obesity, I don't want to get into a big talk about, the state of obesity in our world, but like the foods that we have right now are really hard to process. And if you followed any of the nutritionists, to me, it's symbolic of we have so much distraction and toxins and, just fake information. It's similar to when we're eating the food that's like processed food, that's fake food, that's not alive and not real and not the truth. It's not a true food. It's really hard. Our system gets bogged down and we don't really know what's what. So another thing to practice about taking in and receiving is, what are you eating? Like what foods are you eating? Because I've noticed certain foods, when I eat them, I just feel like so much better and cleaner. Like apples, I love apples. Like if I eat an apple, like I just get light, Sammy feeling of, just beautiful, clean energy. But if I eat, let's say, sugar, I'm going to feel crappy. You get that dark, dense sensation. Again, you're in charge of what you were receiving and what you were putting out, okay? But when you start receiving in stuff that you know isn't good for you, people's energy, other people's opinions, food you know isn't good for you, when you start taking in all those things, it gets harder for you and you're working really hard to eliminate and let go and release those things. So you can avoid wasting energy on that by not taking it in. So that said, the one thing about astragalus, and I've never used it, to be honest with you. It's all about, it's saying here, since obesity is a condition in which we've lost to some extent our ability to transmute and digest food, just as in the spiritual realm we have lost our ability to transmute ideas, feelings, and experiences. Astragalus can help you with this assimilation, basically, that I was talking about. Okay, again, you don't need the actual literal herb. You can just think it, imagine it, appreciate the essence of it, ask for its assistance, and you can even say this affirmation. Through concentration and dedication, I'm a willing channel of spirit manifest on earth. So that's how we really literally create. We take what we know from spirit and then bring it down through us and then create through earth in the 3D world. Okay, now we're getting into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I seem to have, spirit always gives me tons of messages here. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, Pentacles being an earth based sign. So anything here we're gonna get from a Pentacles has to do with whatever we talked about coming to fruition in the earth realm. Okay, Elecampane. It's a very fancy word. I'm gonna look up Knight of Pentacles. That's the herb that I'm gonna show it again, and it's kind of blurred out, but Elecampane. I'm getting a lot of cards I haven't pulled in a very long time. Oh my goodness. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is a stable, reliable, and loyal person. Are we getting a sense here that like this week is all about getting grounded, getting stable, becoming very familiar with what we know, and being attuned to just a calming sensation, and bringing everything that was out here in our head and the ether down into like a daily physical practice that's really obvious. Like we're walking our inner talk. We're bringing from the inside out. Okay, so because of his understanding of the healing arts and the ways of the physical world, he's able to teach his wisdom through his actions, accomplishments, and words. Okay, this is exactly what I just said. Instead of just thinking about it, start living your life doing the things. So like smudge every day. Start relying on your crystals. Start, doing the daily prayers, doing the damn thing, instead of thinking about it or reading about it, making it theoretical or from a metaphysical place. Let it manifest in a physical way in your everyday life so that you literally walk your talk, okay? His patience is symbolized by the snail-like helmet that he wears. I will say this. This is a practice. When you learn how to literally become a spiritual healer, become a coach for other people, it's going to be a process. It's not like we're done. We had one session, things are good. Or, I smudged the house once, it's done. No, it's like you brush your teeth every day. You eat every day. What's your practice? Like, how do you do this in a way that's easeful and shows a sense of mastery? As you practice, you master it. You master self-mastery. And that's really the only thing that matters. Okay, his brown coloring indicates the earthly realm. I really wish there was a way I could make a little box up in the corner so you guys could see it as I'm talking. I'll try to do this. Okay. He knows, I'm sorry, his brown coloring indicates the earthly realm with which he works closely. He knows what it is to be rested and relaxed and recognizes that these activities contribute to greater health and well-being and clearer thinking. So to me, this is awesome because before I was a goer, I was a doer. I was on the hamster wheel, very much in masculine energy. And this process of including rest, not just so you can honor resting for the sake of hurrying up and doing something else again. resting for the sake of resting. That's why we're such a tired, stressed out culture, because we don't rest for the sake of resting. And in fact, while we're resting, half the time, raise your hand if while you're resting you're feeling guilty, like, oh my God, I have so many things I need to do, and and I should be doing XYZ instead of laying here and watching TV or whatever it is that you find restful. You know, this is like confirmation. Like, part of a very good earthly practice is knowing when to shut it all off and to rest and unplug, because that's how you're going to maintain and sustain your energy so that you can bring your gifts to the world, right? Yeah, Sylvia, I know. I went through a period where I was like feeling guilty whenever I'd rest. But you know what? When you say, you know what, I'm supposed to be resting right now. This is awesome. I'm supposed to be resting. You know, and if you're like me, maybe you set aside maybe a certain time frame to accomplish something and you don't necessarily get it done. Like, oh, I'm going to get all the laundry done from 2 to 4. And then it's 4 o'clock, you're still doing laundry. Put the laundry away. Put it away. Stop. It's like our brains, we can't compete. You know, we can't compute like, oh my God, it's not finished. I can't stop what I'm doing. But yes, if you don't stop what you're doing right then and there, you won't honor the rest period that you gave yourself. And it'll get done. It'll get done. But that's how, you know, I've had to literally incorporate rest into my life. I've had to interrupt myself. It's like horses in midstream. And for us women, this goes against our neurotransmitters. Something about us having to have everything in its place, and which gives us that calming sensation. And by the way, I will add in here, if you've not seen, there's a movie called The Female Brain. I believe it's coming out soon. Check it out. Maybe I'll post the trailer in here, but it's very, to me, I was fascinated with it because it talked about why our neurotransmitters and the chemical cocktails in our bodies create certain behaviors, and so why we're destined to do certain things. So your biology becomes your biography. So anyways, back to this. As a businessman, he is quick of mind, analytical, and industrious, and is able to bring his endeavors to success. Okay, so if you're struggling with this sense of, I can't really quite bring it or do the thing, you know, create the thing that I told myself I was going to do, this guy, Knight of Pentacles, is your man. Call on him and Elecampane. And I know I'm probably mispronouncing it and butchering it. This is an herb I'm not familiar with, and I'm going to read a little bit about what its medicinal properties are. But call on the essence of this if you're having a hard time bringing out all your ideas, bringing it all into like a place of fruition where you can then release it and learn to rest and relax and be a mastery of your own energy, okay? So the spiritual properties of Elecampane will help one to be more connected to the earth and to appreciate the elegance, strength, and beauty of oneself and others. If ever there was anything that the theme of this weekend, it was to love myself. You got to love yourself. Understand, I love this, appreciate the elegance, strength, and beauty of oneself. Okay, if you're beating yourself up, oh, I didn't get everything done this week, I didn't finish the laundry, you will never make yourself better beating yourself up. Love yourself in that place. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I'm conscientious of wanting to do the laundry so much. But guess what? I love myself so much, I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I actually had a conversation this weekend with my guy where we got into a discussion that was going to lead to a place where I knew I'd just be upset, and I had to say, hey, I love you and I love me so much, we're not going to talk about this right now because it's just going to lead to a place that's not good. So when you love yourself and you're in that appreciation of the elegance of who you are and the beauty of others, you want to create situations or be the contributor to the situation to make it a wonderful, elegant, flowing place. So call on Elecampane to strengthen this urge or this spirit behind your feelings and actions, okay? And this is the flow that you should be in anyways when you're creating, because I hate to say should, but this is the flow that will give you the most optimal outcome. Okay, this herb's pungent taste will get energy moving, and its bitter taste will clear out outmoded ideas and fixations. Yeah, if you're super fixated on something, you're not in the flow. Okay. Medicinal properties. Elecampane is a rejuvenative tonic for the lungs. What's lungs? Breathing life in, breathing life out. And it is the one thing that you are in control of, how you receive and how you let go. And that is, I'm seeing that's the theme for this week. How well you are mastering, receiving, and letting go and creating the thing that you want. So, and walking your inner talk, which is really just the essence of everything that I talk about all the time. Okay, here's a wonderful affirmation. By being in tune with Mother Earth, I strengthen and heal myself. And I absolutely agree with this completely. If you're feeling super frazzled, if you're feeling like when you're, maybe around your kids and they're just driving you bananas, go outside, take your shoes off, stand on Mother Earth. It is the most grounding, literally it's called grounding, but it's the most easy, like coming into yourself, like just drawing on the steadiness of Mother Earth. And, that's that calm, wonderful place from which you want to be creating your life, frankly. So very easy daily practices. And that's what Knight of Pentacles is all about. Daily practices. Getting yourself into a state of stop thinking about just doing it. Get physically out there and do it. Another thing I learned to help get what you are thinking and feeling out into the world, consider something called a sand painting. My beautiful mentor, Carrie Hummingbird, was the one who introduced me to this idea. A sand painting does not actually, to me, it doesn't sound anything like, or it isn't actually what it sounds like. You literally go out into your yard, and your neighbors will probably think you're crazy, but who cares, right? Because you're not worried about that. But you build like a little altar or a medicine wheel kind of onto the ground, and you get sand paintings, and you identify certain rocks. You ask the rock, hey, are you okay with me picking you up, and really appreciating what the rock has to tell you and infusing it with your own energy. And you put it into this circle, this little altar that you created, kind of a little sacred space too, but it's called a sand painting. And you can make that rock represent you, or you can make it represent maybe your situation, or you can make it represent someone who is the object of your affection, whatever. And you put them in the rock, and then or in the circle, and then you maybe get another rock, and you get one that represents, the you as it relates to the situation, and you put them together. Like if you're feeling really separated from your partner, put you on one end of the circle and put your partner on the other end of the circle. And this helps you breathe your energy, get it out of here, breathe your energy into the rocks, put them out into this space, and let Mother Earth just handle it. You breathe into it, say, these are my intentions that me and my partner are now more together, and you blow into it. That's what you're letting out. And the reason why I say this, it sounds like, at first I was very resistant to it. I was like, this makes no sense. I don't want to do this. But when you do it, it literally relieves your brain from having to think about it. You brought it out into the 3D world. You embody these, with their permission, the rocks and Mother Earth. You ask for their assistance to help you think through this and mull through this situation and bring it into the 3D world, okay? So, and just let it be, okay? And then you can come back in, a couple days, see what's changed. So that's one way that I really draw, well, besides the grounding, I draw on Mother Earth for her wisdom. Now it's time for us to do the card that represents the whole week, or the energy that we have behind everything. King of Pentacles. And alfalfa. Oops, can you all see that? It's really blurred. Let's look up the King of Pentacles here. King of Pentacles is seated on a throne of rock and is looking directly at the viewer. His robe of red indicates his ability to confront and deal directly with the needs and requirements of living on the earth. Okay. This definitely is perfect because it's basically saying it's time for you to take stock of how you've been taking in energy, letting it go, how you've been creating things. And it's time for you to be really clear about what was I doing and what do I need to be doing, or what is in my best interest to be doing. Because there's no right or wrong, honestly. But if it's not serving you, then it's not helping you, and it's not what's needed at that time, okay? His robe of red indicates his ability to confront, deal directly with the needs and requirements of living on the earth. If you want to call in, you know, use the color red to help you get really clear on what you need to do and confront. Like, sometimes we're in denial, okay? Sometimes we're like, I don't want to deal with this, you know. Maybe you have like a particular situation that you've been avoiding because it's overwhelming to you. This might be a good time for you, once you have established a very strong basis of how you're taking care of your energy, how you're mastering yourself. When you've really gotten very grounded in who you are and how you're taking care of your energy, it's going to give you that confidence to be able to deal with these situations that you haven't been dealing with, okay? And everybody has them. They're all in their life, you know. I don't know, maybe you have family members that are driving you bananas and you need to talk to them about something and you just haven't had the energy for it yet. What if you have some financial debt that you just like buried your head in the sand and you haven't wanted to look at all your bills? This is the time to do it, okay? But the way to do it is to support yourself, love yourself, give yourself everything you need to be successful at managing your life, right? So patience, willpower, and understanding of how the world works are his talents. He knows the body is a temple for spirit and sees the material world as a stage for spiritual growth. Yeah, everything we've been saying. He works to achieve stability in finances, health, emotions, and in his home. He's goal-oriented and reaches for the heights of success. The king must watch that he doesn't get so fixed on his goals, achievements, and rewards that he forgets the spirit behind material manifestations and thus becomes stubborn, selfish, resistant to change, and overly focused on material security. Okay, so for me, I'm kind of the opposite. I stay too much in like the spirit section. I don't think about the physical manifestation of things. So this guy is kind of reminding me that sometimes we can come from the other end of it where we're being too worried about outcome instead of the energy behind it. Okay, so alfalfa, the herb alfalfa, helps one to assimilate nutrients and material treasures. And this is perfect. For this whole week, we've been talking about, you know, how we plan to assimilate, receive, take in, let go. And the alfalfa is going to be something you can call on to help you assimilate better, assimilate all of this knowledge, everything that I'm telling you, you already knew. You already knew. You didn't need me to tell you. We're just sort of tending to it. And so that's what this week is asking you, you know, these cards are asking you to, what do you need to tend to? And call on these herbs to help you tend to them, okay? So we got sage, astragalus, elecampane. I'm going to put them all in here because some of them are fancy names. Alfalfa, alfalfa sprouts. Alfalfa is used to help in the assimilation of protein, calcium, and other nutrients. Its cooling properties makes it useful in reducing fevers and joint inflammations. It's beneficial to the blood, acting as a blood purifier. To me, I'm just getting a sense that if you've been really bogged down in your system with other people's hucha, their negative energy, hucha's density, energetic density, like just really heavy, dark energy. If you've been taking on other people's crap, basically, and not paying attention to how open you're being, then you'll take on more crap, kind of like when you're eating a lot of junk food and you're like, oh, but I just wanted it. But then your body starts feeling crappy. You're taxing your system when you don't have to, okay? So alfalfa is going to help you move through that, get assimilate what you need from it and let it go. And when you get really good at assimilating what you need from something, then you're going to be less likely to take in stuff that's not good for you. Okay? So I work with the earth and all her gifts to see more clearly the manifestation of my spiritual self. Yeah. Manifestation of my spiritual self. That sounds crazy, right? Like, we're already spiritual. Well, how do we manifest it? Well, it comes out into our regular life and how we're living in a daily sacred practices. Okay, so that's for the group reading. And I am going to shuffle these cards again because I see I have a few people who would like a card. I'm going to go back over here in the comments. We've got Charlotte. Okay. Who would like a card? I see Nicole, Charlotte. Yes, it will be super easy if okay, and then Courtney, Chai Kai. If you would like a card and I'm not seeing it, definitely save me two right now so I can pull one for you, okay? All right. And thank you guys for staying on here so far. It's like almost a whole hour. Yay! Okay, so we got Jocelyn, Lisa, and Sylvia. Okay. Did I forget anybody? And Hope. Okay. All right. All right, so I am going to shuffle the cards again, and I'm going to pull one for each of you, okay? In this order. Nicole, Courtney, Jocelyn, Lisa, Sylvia, and Hope. And if anybody else would like one, let me know. All right. I'm going to split the deck again. I'm going to shuffle it a few times, and then I'm going to split it a few times. So let's think about what is it that you want, Nicole. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to think out loud. I'm just going to ask Spirit to give me the message that you need to have right now. Okay? I'm shuffling this here. Okay. Breaking it 3 times. Oops, that one popped out. Okay. All right, Nicole, this is your card. I'm getting the High Priest for you again. I'm thinking that there's something about this energy that you really need to pay attention to. So let's revisit that real quick. Definitely about the inner teacher. There's something about the inner teacher. You need to really tap into your own inner wisdom and understand that you already have everything you need. So it's call on Sage, the energy of Sage, and call on the notion of the High Priest within you to give you the information that you need for this week, okay? And again, bring it out into a real stable place for you out in the world. Like, start practicing what you already know. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know if you're still here. And in the interest of time, I'm going to move to the next one. All right, let me shuffle this one really good. All right, the next one is going to be for Courtney. Chai Kai, Miss Chai Kai. So as I'm shuffling, oh, wow, cool. Perfect. I'm glad that landed with you, Nicole. Don't worry, I think a lot of us are feeling that way lately. Like, you know, we've been trying to rely too much on, you know, other people's wisdom. And the thing is, we are already master healers and light workers ourselves. We're here for a reason. And we need you. Okay. I feel like I need to shuffle a little bit more. I'm getting kind of like tingly fingers here for you, Chai, Courtney. Spirit wants me to tell you something. All right. Okay. Break this 3 times. Thanks for all your patience, everybody. Okay. And now, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What does Spirit want to reveal to us for Courtney? 6 of Swords. Ooh. Vervain. Okay, I'm going to look this up here. Six swords are traveling on a boat. I'm going to hold this up. 6 swords are traveling on a boat to a far-off shore. The sun, which can be looked at as rising or setting, indicates a new cycle beginning or an old cycle ending. The journey into a different way of viewing, a different way of viewing things has begun. A new perspective is unfolding. Allowing the old views to leave will expose a fresh approach. Be willing to let go of the cobwebs in the mind. A new location or job or journey may be necessary to throw one into the new perspective more completely. However, just the willingness to allow thoughts to be open to change may be sufficient. Try to step back from your problems and situations so that a clearer perspective may be obtained. Ooh. Oh my goodness. I think that's perfect for you, actually, considering some of the circumstances that you and I have talked about recently for you. Vervain is an excellent herb to induce sweating and thus relieve fevers and coughs. To help unblock constrained energy in the liver and dredges the kidneys. It is used for delayed menstrual cycles, nervousness, urinary problems. I open myself to different perspectives about my life. I ride in the boat of inner faith. I think that's perfect for you. You get so many things going on. It's time for you to start re-looking at how you view your life. And and how you've been viewing your life and how you let other people view you in life. So there's some powerful messages for you there. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. I got one more for Miss Jocelyn. So call on Vervain, Courtney. The essence of Vervain to help you through this. V-E-R-V-A-I-N, Vervain. Jocelyn. One second here. I have somebody who keeps trying to call me. Okay, so the death card, not to be misconstrued as a negative thing. Okay, elder flowers, the death card. This is a major arcana. Again, this has to do with broad, sweeping patterns in your life. Okay. Death ruled by Scorpio, which obviously Scorpio is a huge influence this year in 2018, is symbol of rebirth, transformation, change, and initiation. You've got some stuff going on. The sun in the background is rising. A new day is being born. The blooming red roses symbolize the rejuvenation that we will experience by shedding our old skin. Thank you, Brother Snake, for being here and showing us how to do that. Our old, worn-out ways for the rebirth self. So does this make sense? Does this make sense? The death of the old is necessary for the new to emerge. Okay. The old is like the compost heap full of rich experiences from which new forms emerge. If we resist changes, we may experience pain emotionally and physically. But if we exercise our creative imagination and visualize a new, more peaceful, at ease self, a self that is in a better position than before, then we can move more easily through the unknown fathoms of death and let it take us from constrictive patterns of the past to emerge like the phoenix soaring upward. Death is getting down to the bare bones. It asks us to look at our true inner yearnings for emotional and spiritual peace. It asks us to be reborn through our union with the greater power. So, the elderberry bush has for thousands of years been venerated by people of many parts of the world for its magical and medicinal properties. In lore and legend, it is an emblem of sorrow and death because old traditions held the idea that the cross of Calvary was made of a giant elder tree. From that time, the story goes, the elder was never able to grow into a tree, but forever remained a bush. In Europe, the elder was trimmed into the shape of a cross and planted on new graves. If it blossomed, the soul of the deceased person was believed to be happy. In pre-Christian Northern Europe, the elder was intimately connected to magic, and it is said that the magic wands were fashioned from elder branches. So, the elder herb helps to allow the death of the old to be transmuted into the new rebirth self. So call upon the elder flowers to help you through this transition. It acts as a guardian spirit during the metamorphosis and brings ease as the transition occurs. So this is going to be a big process for you. As the serpent sheds its skin, I renew myself within. That's perfect. Awesome. Okay, so now we got Lisa. Are you still here, Lisa? Thank you for staying with me here. This is a bit of a process. I think what I might do is pull cards, and we can do one that's like individually for more appreciative of time. All right, cool. You're here. Awesome. Six of Pentacles, hops. Those of you familiar with hops and beer, this could be fun. Okay. Man sitting on the earth is holding a bag full of prosperity. Money, talents, information, compassion, or energy. This prosperity is being shared between himself and another, for whatever one gives will be received in kind. The city in the background is the society within which he works and symbolizes the cooperation by individuals that is needed to make a caring and compassionate group. Though through patience and perseverance, goals can be achieved, and through openness and mutual receptivity, whatever is needed will come. Look for opportunities to share what you have and be open to what others want to share with you. Guard against giving and receiving in a way that is ego-oriented. When you do not feel good about the exchange, then don't make it. Giving and receiving must be from the heart to be a benefit to either party. Any tendencies to go to extremes with this energy must be watched for, such as giving when there is no need or request, thus experiencing depleted energy or resentment. Look to the heart for the answers, for there you will know that true giving and receiving comes from divine spirit. Okay, so considering our reading for the whole week, this has a lot to do with really how, when you're giving, are you doing it in a way that's good for you? That, you know, are you taking in what is wanted, and are you giving from the heart in a way that feels good to you? And who you allow into your group, who you're creating for your tribe, because, you know, I know you're building up your business, and how you want to do business. You get to decide how you want to be when you're interacting with people, you know, and if it feels stressful, if it feels like, I don't like this, or, you know, it's just not aligned, you don't have to partake in it. And that's part of your soul journey for learning how to decide who you are in relationship to your tribe. Does that make sense? And definitely you want to do it in a way that feels good, because if it doesn't feel good, you're not going to be able to sustain it. So that's what I'm getting out of that. Okay, and then we have Sylvia and Hope, and I'm wondering if, do I have anybody else that I looked at all the comments? You're welcome. Okay. This one's for Sylvia. Five of Wands and turmeric, one of my favorite herbs. It's actually a root. Five of Wands. You all got that? It's a little blurry. Okay. Turmeric. I love turmeric. Ooh. Here we have five wands, representing differences of race and political alliance, brandishing their staffs in a contentious manner. Ooh, I'm seeing, okay, one thing about cards, they don't necessarily represent you. They may represent the environment in which we're at. And like, I don't know about you, but like lately social media has had quite a bit of contention related to race and political alliance. So the card represents strife, prejudice, conflict, opposition, and disagreement. Now, this may be how you are in relationship to what's going on in the world around you. If you're letting it bother you, don't let it, basically. In other words, such conflict and rivalries can drain our energies and divert us from our more fruitful pursuits and endeavors. What I'm really hearing is like, don't listen to the news right now. Shut out, like put some blinders on. Don't listen to any of that mess. You're really not going to get anything out of it. It's like just a whole bunch of bickering and drama for you that's not necessary, and it will drain your energy. Okay? So even wars are not possible when our thoughts and efforts are fruitfully preoccupied with building strength from within. And if you have, well, in your internal conflict can also be reflected by when you start focusing on things of beauty in your external world, it can also bring to you peace within. Okay, so it kind of works both ways. So if you're feeling like full of strife on the inside, start looking for things that will mirror harmony to you. Okay, so therefore, to feel threatened is to betray an inner weakness that is better examined before we react. Let us not forget that when open conflict seems the only choice, it represents in some way a personal failure in dealing with our own shortcomings, as well as an inability to communicate that which we feel to be vital to our survival and well-being. Okay. It is always worth considering the innate weakness and vulnerability that has led us to such confrontations, and whether strengthening those areas of weaknesses might not be of greater value. So in other words, it's saying if you are prone to maybe like say negative thinking, work on that weakness versus what you're actually thinking about. That's going to be more helpful to you in the long run for this, coming week, to really just focus on, you know what, maybe I do think like my conflict is coming from some of my negative thoughts. Instead of the content of your thoughts, just look at maybe your practice of having a tendency to allow yourself to go there. And then that will be the thing that you should focus on instead of what you're actually thinking. Okay? That's going to be more beneficial to you. So by doing so, we might have the best chance of averting further loss and decimation of reserves that is attendant to all conflicts. So that's a real fancy way of saying, like, you'll have less, when you tend to the fact that you're thinking negative thoughts in the first place, you'll have less negative thoughts, regardless of what they are. Okay, so when one feels a lack of strength and spiritual power, this herb, turmeric, will fortify and create an inner stirring of strength. For those whose energy is aggressive and argumentative, it will clear this energy and create a space for a new and healthier viewpoint. So if you're feeling like, everybody feels it, like angry, aggressive, whatever, when you're getting in that space, love yourself in that space, okay? The only way to get out of it is to love yourself out of it, okay? Turmeric root is included as an herb of the fire element because of its warm, stimulating effects. You may not, I don't know if it's safe for you to take it right now, but it's good in regulating blood sugar levels, and in some cases helps diminish PMS and regulate your menses, which doesn't really apply at this time. So if you're feeling opposition, strife, suppression, disagreement, it's telling you to actually look at the conflict, because it's the conflict itself is creating the inner, that strife. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Like, when you are aware that you're feeling the conflict, you're going to tend to the fact that you're having the conflict. Does that make sense? Okay. Anger is the measure of fear. Love is the measure of faith. So the only way to get out of this sense of conflict is to love yourself out of it. Okay. So there's that one. And I do love turmeric, and I think you can have some. It doesn't contraindicate. Okay, and then now we have hope. Yay. I'm checking all your comments. Good, I'm glad you like it, Sylvia. Perfect. Perfect. And yeah, and Courtney, anxiety fighting vervain shown to calm racing thoughts and improve sleep. I think that's helpful to you. Okay, this is for hope. The World, Comfrey. Lots of major arcana this week. I think this is a really powerful period. We're going into Pisces coming up, I think in a day or two. Water sign, very emotional. We've been in the air sign. Contrary to popular belief, Aquarius is not a water sign. It is an air sign, even though it's very confusing because it's a water bearer. But we're going from the mental into the emotional, the water signs of Pisces. So lots of big shifts right now, especially after that wonderful interchange with all the lunar and the solar eclipse. I cannot reiterate how much power that was in both of those eclipses. And I don't know why I felt called to explain that just then. Somebody wanted to hear it. Okay, the World. And if I know anything about comfrey, comfrey is primarily something that you put on you topically as like a poultice for swelling and things like that. The World ruled by Saturn. Oh, and Saturn is definitely in the forefront for this year. The World ruled by Saturn represents the unity of all the elements and their oneness with divine spirit. This card depicts our potential to manifest spirit on Earth. Saturn has been mistakenly regarded as a malefic planet. That's just a fancy way of saying like kind of a negative, like if Venus is good and love, then Saturn is bad and evil. Really, Saturn represents our old wise self, Chronos, Father Time, and Saturn is kind of those things that we don't want to have to think about that are kind of a pain in the neck, but like really make up the structure of our lives. Saturn, like I said, has been mistakenly regarded as a malefic planet. A clearer understanding of the planet and its energies will bring greater clarity to the World card. Saturn rules limitations, time, form, and responsibility. Okay, again, like all those unfun things that are still important. It represents, it crystallizes thoughts and ideas, and it represents the earth plane and all of its wonders. So like, you know, we may be like, oh, peace and love and whatever, but we still got to pay the bills, you know? The four elements represented on the world are the different aspects of creation and the order of the universe: water, or the feelings, inspirations, and balance; fire, the creative, expansive energy; air, the element of wisdom and interconnection of ideas; and earth, or contraction, cohesion, and results. So, without this order, we as celestial beings would not have the place, space, or time to manifest our visions. These are the tools and media with which we outwardly create the inner visions, okay? The circle on the card, I wish I could hold it up all the time. Okay, the circle on the card represents the all-encompassing power and energy that was or ever will be. It is the present moment of existence. It is the unindividualized life force that gains self-conscious awareness through the limitations of time and space and by combining all the elements. When we have reached the consciousness of the world card, we are no longer identifying all that we create with the ego or subjective personality. We see our creations as a manifestation of the life force itself. This plane that we live on is magnificent, as it is the place where we can see ourselves through our creations. This extends from the most temporal to the most exalted parts of our lives. If we can see ourselves and the things around us as the life force manifested, then there is nowhere else that we need to be except right here, right now, dancing to the rhythm of life. Ooh, that's perfect. That is beautiful. Considering this whole week, everything having to do with receiving and releasing and what do you really want to manifest, and if you do it from the perspective of the world, where you're creating on a worldly plane and not just your own specific plane, like how can you impact the world with your you're no longer identifying all that you create with ego or subjective personality. Like, how is what you're going through reflective of what the rest of us are going through? And especially if we feel like we have a divine mission, then when we do our work and we elevate our own consciousness, we're going to be able to elevate the consciousness of the world. Yes. So, spiritual properties of comfrey is comfrey is the herb of seeing the segments and putting them together to create a whole. It helps us to knit our realities and our lives together. Meditations with the herb or the card will enable us to understand better how the world with all its segments is pulled together by the unity of the divine creative energy behind all manifestation. So use comfrey to help you figure out how to piece everything together. And where there may be several moving parts or different perspectives, how to blend them all together to be something that is valuable for other people to hear. Is this making sense? Mm-hmm. We will see more clearly how to be focused and present so that our visions can be joyfully manifested. Comfrey has a soothing effect upon every organ it contacts, known as knit bone. It may be used internally and externally to heal wounds, fractures, sores, and ulcers. It is used for coughs. I personally have never seen it used internally, but for the most part, it's used for putting on broken things and piecing it back together. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like you maybe have a situation that's broken and you want to help heal it, you can put it back together using the essence of comfrey. I joyfully create my spirit and see spirit as the foundation of all. That's beautiful. Well, that's it for today. I hope I got everybody. If I did not get you, please make sure you leave a comment and I'll speak to you individually. But I'm so happy y'all are here. And let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you liked the party, you want to do it again. I'm planning to do one every Monday, so hopefully you guys will be here. I'm considering doing them on Sundays, but I think Mondays are better because more people are less preoccupied with other things. So Sundays sometimes are family time and all that, so I like the live parties on Monday. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. And if any of this resonated, let me know. Let me know what you think. I appreciate all you guys watching. And that's going to be it for now. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Love you.